This is an introduction. Hello, I'm Dr. Ralph Stockmann. I'm a chiropractor, an Ayurvedic physician. I am a nutritional consultant for the Root Cause Protocol, and I have a diplomat in chiropractic orthopedics. And I just love learning about how the body works. So today we're going to talk a little bit about my background and how I got into this. So I've been a chiropractor now for about 35 years, and like many of you, I got to a point in my life where I was tired all the time. I had no energy. All my joints were painful and stiff and arthritic, and I was burnt out. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how that all happens and why that happens. First, I want to say it all happens very slowly and gradually, and you don't really even notice that these things happen until you're probably somewhere in your 40s, and then all of a sudden you run out of energy and start having all these symptoms, and you go to your doctor, and your doctor does blood tests on you, and your blood tests come back normal, and the doctor says there's nothing wrong with you, and you say, oh yes, there is. So medically, they don't really understand this process of your body being depleted and being burnt out. All right, so what we're really talking about is a depletion of minerals in the body gradually over time. So I'll just tell you my story. Being a chiropractor, I thought that perhaps after 35 years I was getting arthritis in my hands and in my feet from using them all day and standing on my feet. So I took some x-rays of my hands, and I have no arthritis in my hands whatsoever. So this began my investigation into why my hands are painful and stiff and arthritic, and to the point where I was getting Dupuytren's contractures. That's what you call trigger finger, where your fingers start to bend like that, and it's hard to open them. So that's actually caused by too much calcium in the body. So how does this happen? Well, when you're under stress, your body burns up magnesium. When you don't have enough magnesium to protect the calcium channels, then that allows calcium to rush into the cells and into the joints. Now, calcium makes muscles contract, and magnesium makes them relax. So calcium and magnesium are like the yin and yang. They go together, but they have different purposes. If you don't have enough magnesium in your body, the calcium rushes into the cells and the joints, making you feel stiff and arthritic. Calcium is the main ingredient in cement, so that's how you feel. You feel like your joints and your muscles are all getting stiff and painful, and it's difficult to move, and pain starts to set up into the joints. So the joints become loaded up with calcium, and your cells become loaded up with calcium, and then in your cells you have your mitochondria, which are responsible for producing energy in your body in the form of ATP. ATP must be bound to magnesium to produce energy in your body. So you become tired and lose your energy, and that's due to too much calcium being in the cells and your mitochondria being plugged up with calcium and not being able to produce energy. When this happens, the calcium also is irritating to the blood vessels. So the calcium starts scratching up all your blood vessels, and that allows the atherosclerosis plaques to begin. And this is what the medical profession is all worried about with cholesterol. Now, I'll just briefly talk about that now, but we'll get into that in a later video. When you have calcium scratching up your arteries and the valves in your heart, that causes atherosclerosis and plaquing and can cause problems with the heart function. Now, recently, the British Medical Association put out an article that states that most heart problems, such as atrial fibrillation, any electrical type problems with the heart, these are all caused by a lack of magnesium. So again, calcium makes the muscles contract, magnesium makes the muscles relax. When you have a heart attack, your heart is contracting and can't relax. So that's obviously a need for magnesium in the body. Now, the type of magnesium that they'll use in medicine and for this type of problem is magnesium oxide, which is only absorbed about 4% in the body. So don't just all run out and buy magnesium. It's very important that you get the right type of magnesium for what's going on with your body. So magnesium is one of the first things that we introduce to people that are under this stressful situation. So the chronic stress in your life creates chronic inflammation in your body. As I said, it happens very slowly and gradually. You don't really even notice it in the beginning until you get to the point where the calcium builds up in your joints. You start to get painful arthritic joints, and you can also begin to get heart problems. And it's also interesting that most heart attacks start usually in your late 40s or 50s, and this is also due to the depletion of minerals in your body gradually over time. So after the calcium rushes into the cells and can affect your heart as well, if that is not corrected, then iron will move into your cells. Now, iron on its own, we're talking about free, unbound iron, which means that it's not bound to protein, which is functional good iron. So the iron that's toxic, the free, unbound iron, moves into the cells as well and moves into the mitochondria, and iron is very toxic to the body. So iron by itself is the only substance that can initiate cancer, promote cancer, and spread cancer. The reason for this is that free iron in the body produces the free radical hydroxyl molecules, and these run around like little Pac-Men all through your body, damaging your organs, damaging your tissues, creating havoc in your body, and they're the cause of cancer in your body. So free radicals are the bad guys. Iron causes too much free unbound iron in the body, causes overproduction of free radicals, and the free radicals are what is causing the damage in the body and also getting in your genes and causing genetic mutations. Now, this is something that's really only happened in the last 70 years or so, because when I was growing up, it was very rare for people to have cancers and diabetes and MS, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia, all of these arthritises, the rheumatoid arthritises, all the neurodegenerative diseases, and all the autoimmune diseases are caused by this toxic iron in the body, which really has only happened in the last 70 years or so. So, to release this iron toxicity from your body, there are several things you can do. Number one, stop eating iron. Stop eating gluten, which contains iron. Stop eating enriched flours and enriched grain, which also contain iron. Many medications also contain iron in the form of iron oxide. So stop taking the medications if you can with iron in them. The other things you can do are to take magnesium, vitamin C, a whole food vitamin C that is, not ascorbic acid, and vitamin A, not synthetic vitamin A, but cod liver oil or animal fats, which contain retinol. Those three things will help get the iron out of your cells and back into the blood where it belongs. The best way, once you've mobilized this iron to get out of your cells, you need to eliminate it from your body. So if you donate blood, that blood loss will cause erythropoiesis, which means that your bone marrow will start to produce red blood cells and use the iron. Another benefit of donating blood is that causes the release of iron from your cells back into the blood and from your macrophages back into the blood, so that iron can be recycled and used in the bone marrow to produce red blood cells. There are other things you can do to help get rid of iron from your blood if you can't donate it. You can take curcumin, which is found in turmeric, which binds iron. You can take rice bran away from food. The phytic acid will also bind iron and get it out of your body. And there are other products like iDetox, and those products also will help get iron out of your cells, as well as apolilactoferrin, which is found in raw goat's milk as well. So those are some ways to get iron out of your body. For more information about iron, watch the next video on iron and copper metabolism.